Welcome back to our high-low game. This high-low game has been built upon other tutorials, and if you're just joining us now, you may wish to go look at those tutorials before proceeding. Links to those tutorials are in the comments below. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at how we can add a hint to the game. So we can ask the user if they want some help before we even begin playing the game. If they do take on our help, then they're going to receive a 2-guess penalty for the help. We're going to apply an if statement or an if then else statement. We're also going to be adjusting a counter, and we're going to use modulus to help work out if the secret number is even or odd. So if you find this tutorial useful, give it a like, subscribe to my channel. If you want to put a comment in below of where you're from, and also if you would want more tutorials made, let me know. But let's get underway. So currently, when we play the game, it gives us a menu and says, okay, do we want to have a beginners, easy, hard, or expert? Let's start with something like beginners. Let's keep it short. It goes, well, enter your guess. So if I put 5, which is halfway between 1 and 10, it goes, I'm too low, so let's put in 7. And then I'm too low again, so let's put in 9. Oh, winner, winner, chicken dinner. So I actually guessed it in 3. So if you haven't got this implemented, go have a look at the previous tutorials. Have a look in the comments below for links to those. But what we want to do, just before the game starts, and they've selected the type of game, so if I select expert number 4, we want to actually ask them, would you like some help? And the help we're going to give them is actually tell them if the number's even or if the number's odd. But if they do so, they'll receive a 2-guess penalty. So their first guess, rather than being 1, will actually be 3. So let's have a look how we can implement this. So when I go up to my code, this needs to occur after they select the type of game they would like to play. So up here we get the game range. Then we apply if then else statement to work out the game size. We generate the secret number. So just after the secret number, this is where we're going to actually put in the help. So we're going to help the player here. So I'm also going to take out the hash symbol here so that the secret number is shown. So we don't, when we're debugging down here, we don't have to play the whole game to get to the end. We can see what the number is and we can test it. And because we're going to be looking if the number is even or odd, it'll be nice to know that before we have to play the whole game to find out. So what do we need to do first? Well, we need to ask the user if they want the help. So we're going to ask for a hint. Hint underscore question. Now the hint question is going to be a simple input, and we're going to ask them, and I'm going to use a \n. What a \n does is places a return carriage. So the information won't appear straight underneath this enter the size of the game. So this will put a blank line in, and then we're going to put in, would you like a hint for 2 guesses? And we're going to put yes/no, and then put a question mark and a space. So would you like a hint for 2 guesses? So if they go yes, I'm going to increment their counter for guesses by 2. If they say no, then we're just going to continue on with the game. Now this input will come in as a char. So it comes in as a string. So I'm going to make sure it is a string by going before the input and putting str bracket, and then on the end of the line put another bracket to close them off so they're bookend. So this takes and asks a question, would you like a hint for 2 guesses? Input, so it gets that input, turns it to a string and puts it into the hint question. So let's check that the question's being asked. So it's asking me for the size of game, so I'm going to put in 2, press enter, and you see in the output I've got my secret number is 52. Would you like a hint for 2 guesses? So in here I can go, yes, I would like that. The problem is now, if they put in a capital Y, that could be different to a lowercase y. So I'm going to force it to be a lowercase y. To do that, I'm going to go hint question is equal to hint question, and then I'm going to use a method which is dot lower, and then use bracket bracket. So if I put in a capital Y to this question, it'll be converted here to lowercase y. And the reason for that is I want to then use an if statement and go, well, if the hint question is equal to lowercase y. If I don't use line 36 here, hint question lower, I would have to use an or statement if it is lowercase y or if it's going to be capital Y. This way I can make sure that the input from the user is lowercase. And if they enter in anything else, it'll be treated as not a guess, so they don't want help. So let's go to the next part. So if they enter in Y, let's go print, quote, they want help. And let's see if this works. So let's run our program now. I'm going to select 2. Would you like a hint for 2 guesses? Yes. They want help. So I've just proven that this little if statement here is working. So now I'm just going to rem this out with a hashtag. Then what we're going to do is increase the number of guesses. So we know from the previous tutorial that we keep track of their guesses in this guesses variable here. So in this point here, I want to go guesses equals guesses plus 2. So there's a 2 guess penalty. So if they, I'll just move this, just tab that in. If they say yes, then there is a 2 guess penalty. Now I need to also give them something for their 2 guesses. I've actually got to tell them if the number is even or if the number is odd. So to do that, we're going to use what's called modulus. And I'm going to say, well, if the secret number, so this is the random number that's been generated, just up here, secret number at line 31. If that secret number, percent, which is the modulus 2. So if that number divided by 2 is equal to 0. So this is also a nested if then else statement because I've got if they say y, and if that number divided by 2 results in no remainder, 0. So if the number is 4 divided by 2, there's no remainder, so it gives you 0. If it's 3 divided by 2 will give you a remainder, which means it's not going to be equal to 0. So that'll be the false part of the if then else statement. So if the number is even, like 4 divided by 2, there's no remainder, this will be true. We can go print the number is even. And if it's not even, we can go else print the number is odd. So for their 2 guess penalty, I will tell them if the number is even or if the number is odd. So let's have a look at the game now. Let's go and run the game. Stop the last one and run this new one. I'm just going to go 2. The secret number is 44. Would you like a hint for 2 guesses? Yes. The number is even. 44 divided by 2 will give you 22 with no remainder. And then I can enter a guess, so I'm just going to put in 44. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I'm going to run it again. And you'll also notice you solved this in 3 guesses. I only made 1 guess, 44. So the 2 has been added from the cheat. And then my guess gives me 3. So let's run it again. Let's see if we can get an odd number this time. I'm going to go 3. This is an even number again. Would I like a hint? No. 7, 5, 6. Enter. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. 1 guess. Hopefully this time it will generate me an odd number. This time it's actually generated me an odd number, 19. Would I like a hint for 2 guesses? Yes. The number is odd. So we can actually see that the if then else statement's working very well for us. And I'll just put 19 in, and you notice it's come out at 3. So in this tutorial, we've been able to use a nested if statement. We've actually incremented a variable, used the modulus function, which is the percent sign, incremented a global variable, which is guesses, and we've given users some help by telling them if it's even or odd. If you found this tutorial useful, give it a like. Also subscribe to my channel. Have a look around my YouTube channel for other useful Python videos. And if you have a look at the next tutorial in this series, we'll be moving on and also adding a play again function and a low score table.